See, you're not a bad guy. You just dress bad. And that's how you handle that. Uh-oh. Big hat. See how handsome I still am? Must be the other Vampire Hunter D movie. There's only two, and that's a shame. There's a bunch of really crappily written books! Woohoo! Today we're talking about Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust. As far as technical quality, it is the superior film. The thing that Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust lacks in is the love story that you're supposed to care about between Charlotte and Meyer. Is the thing you care least about. You're like, okay, here's this love story. Don't you feel for these two characters? No, not really. I want to see Dee win. That's the whole point of why this movie's not as good as the 1985 one. It's because of the love story. It's such an intricate part of the overall story. It kind of falls flat on its face. Basically, the whole point of the movie, you don't give a fuck about. That's why it's not as good as the 1985 version. The 1985 release is superior. Just because of the cool story. The story's way better. There's no weird love story that you don't care about. There's the quasi-love story between Doris and Dee, but Dee's like, no, and that's all there is to it. End of love story. Far more compelling. No. I love you. No. And it's true, if you were to talk to the creator of Vampire Hunter D, he prefers the animation in Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust over the 1985, the superior movie. The first one, which looks so bad compared to this one. This one looks amazing, but you just don't give a shit. And the reason that the 1985 one is still the better movie, it's because it was based on a superior book. And the book that this one is based off of, I think this is book 3 in the series, it's not that great of a story. Sorry. Well, first of all, there's Dee. He's back. He's Dee. He's Vampire Hunter D. He's the son of Dracula, the half-breed spawn of a vampire and a human. And he hunts vampires. Awesome. For some reason, they changed the translation between the 1985 release and this one to dumb peel, which is a really dumb way of spelling it and saying it. It's like a dumb peel. It's like he's a stupid Rhine. Right? What's a dumb peel? You mean a Dampier, not dumb peel. Oh, you're the dumb peel. Bitch, it's Dampier. Smack with my weird hand. Run down. So it starts off, all of a sudden this beautiful girl is laying in her bed and all the crosses all over town are getting crushed by some supernatural force, and this carriage rolls into town, snatches her out of her bed, and he's a vampire guy, and you find out his name is Meyer Link. No relation. But he's the vampire. He and Charlotte are in love, and apparently it's legit. He didn't just kidnap her, she wanted to go. They're in love. Oh, it's beautiful. But her dad said nah, and sent Dee to get her ass back. They're also the Marcus brothers, a group of bounty hunters who are also out to collect the bounty on Charlotte. We've got Borgoff. Apparently he's the leader. I guess he's the oldest Marcus brother. They don't really get into that. There's Null, who's the big one. There's Kyle, who's the redheaded stepchild, who's the funny one. There's Grove, who is dying of AIDS or something in the back. And then there's Layla, who is kind of a bitch. She's got like a really crappy backstory that you don't really care about, and she's got a chip on her shoulder, but she's actually a very good bounty hunter. All the Marcus brothers are. These are the Marcus brothers. I don't think any of them are actually brothers. I think they're just a group. They don't really go into that. But they're the Marcus brothers. They are Dee's competition for the film. And once Meyer's carriage makes it to Barbaroy, this fucking hella scary place, and they don't really go into what it is, but they just talk about how freaky it is, right? I do like that about this movie. It expands on the world so much more. You get to see creatures out in the desert. What are they? The sand mantas that he's jumping across? That's a really good cyborg horse, by the way. Jump the fuck up into the air, right? I like how they expand the world, right? He has to go through the mountains to get to Barbaroy, and once he's in Barbaroy, that's when shit really gets weird, because now there's like shadow demons. What's her name? Caroline, the weird demon bitch. She's like ultimate T-1000, because she can turn into metal and into wood. She's way better than T-1000. There's Benki, who's like a little shadow jester dickhead. And then there's the werewolf guy. They say his name once. I totally didn't even catch it, but it's some sort of weird-ass name. He's got werewolf indigestion? The hand, his left hand, his weird little freaky hand, apparently he's a parasite now. He says he's a parasite in this one. But once again, if you don't know anything about Vampire Hunter D, once again, all of a sudden there's just this random voice that's talking to him. And you're like, who's talking to him now? Because it's totally a different voice. He sounds like a curmudgeon old man who's on top of it up here, right? And he's all snarky, right? He's got way more lines, way more lines. All of a sudden there's like a pair. Right now D doesn't feel so alone all the time. He's making him do stuff. He like puts his hand to the dirt so he can sniff out tracks. He presses them up against the weird mirror wall. He eats spells. He eats ghosts. His hand is the shit all of a sudden. And where do I get one of these? And then they get to the Castle of Chaith. And the Castle of Chaith is hosted by Carmilla, who is an evil vampire ghost. That's right, she's a ghost. They're just, oh, hey, thanks, Carmilla. Thanks for the invite. I know you've been dead for like, I don't even know how long. But everyone knows she's dead. But she's just a ghost haunting the place. But she invites Meyer and Charlotte to come to her castle so she can give them the castle rocket? It's like a spaceship, right? She's got a rocket ship for them so they can go to the city on the dark side of the moon. They don't really explain that very well. We're just trying to get to the city of eternal night. What the fuck does that mean, right? Oh, it's in space. Okay, that makes more sense. But no, seriously, they don't deliver that well. All right, Carmilla's an evil ghost bitch who's ultimately just trying to drink Charlotte's blood so she can come back to life, because that's all she needs is human blood, right? Untainted human blood, and then she can live again. That's the whole reason. It's a setup. That's the twist. Oh my God, you've been set up! What a twist! Ghost trap. Holy shit. Didn't see that coming in a vampire movie, did ya? Overall, I felt that this actually wasn't a bad movie. Like I said, it's an adequate sequel to the 85 version. The 85 version, I feel, is still the better story, but this one looks so amazing. Everything about this one, except the whole point of the movie, is totally solid. Everything except the core of the movie is awesome. But without the core, you can't beat the 85 version, because the 85 version had everything except the art style. That's the only thing it doesn't have is the art style. So, I mean, hands down, the 85 one is still superior, but it's still awesome. My official rating and my unofficial rating system, watch it. You should totally watch it so you can compare them both. Like I said, if you've only seen one, you can't talk about both of them. Check them both out. Tell me which one is your favorite below. This is AniView by Dave. I, of course, am Dave. If you have any questions, comments, confusion, suggestions, put them below and I will get back to you. See you next time. So, people of YouTube, what would you do if you had a weird face on your hand? Would you still be masturbating with it? Perverts. Dirty. They're pretty badass for just being a group of humans. They're just a group of humans, especially Grove. He's all addicted to whatever that fucking super cocaine is. Whatever they're pumping into him, right, to make him have his weird acid ghost trips. Those are amazing, though. What sort of power is that? All right, we're going to put you into cardiac arrest, and then I want you to get your ass in there and blow those motherfuckers up. Okay, let's do it! When Grove shows up and he's all, like, ghosted out, he's all happy. He's all... What the fuck is that? What does D do to punish his hand? Does he, like, scratch his ass after a really hot, sweaty day? Yeah, talk about it now. Give him some famunda. You just dressed bad, oh yeah? Oh no, why? That's terrible. So when the Marcus brothers first meet D, freaking Borgoff shoots an arrow way off in the distance, right? And D catches it, and everyone sees D catch it, and his cape is all flapping against the moon, the giant moonlit sky. And Layla, just, her panties just sploosh, sploosh. Right? Dumb peel. Sploosh. Like I said, I appreciate them expanding on the world of Vampire Hunter D because they go to that town and that old man was a little child that D had saved many years ago, right? That's an awesome story. I like hearing stuff about that. And he's like, oh, so it's true what they say. You dumb peels don't age, right? And then later on at the end of the feature, when they're at Layla's funeral, Layla's granddaughter comes up to Dee and is like, oh, hey, you're the guy, right? You're the guy who, you know, was the guy that one time, the guy, you're the guy, right? And Dee's like, yeah, I'm the guy, later, right? So, I mean, that was kind of a dick move, but, you know, I like the expansion of the world, right? It makes it feel more like a world. There's past consequences, there's future dealings, right? It's awesome. But the constant is Dee. Dee looks the same all the time. He's just this beautiful guy dressed in Halloween colors. Dee doesn't just walk into a bar and stop a bar fight. He doesn't give a fuck, right? He takes $20 million to go and get this bitch's ring, right? $20 million bucks, right? To get a ring, right? Dee gets paid. Oh, you know what I really liked about the movie? When Dee's standing in front of the mirror, you can like half see through his reflection. I thought that was awesome, right? He's only half vampire, so he only has half a reflection. That's awesome. That's a nice little touch. They didn't have to do it, but they did, so I appreciate it. Carmilla, the evil ghost bitch, has tons of bats in the belfry, because as soon as she dies, all these bats fly out of the castle, and the castle falls apart. Is the castle made of bats? That's a lot of bats. Does the structural integrity of the castle lose itself once all the bats are gone? It's kind of shitty design. Bad architects. Why is Layla all invested in this rocket ship? Charlotte's dead. Charlotte got killed by freaking Carmilla. And now she's like, go, make it, be dead. What do you care? She's dead. She just shows up and slaps the fuck out of her. Shut up, bitch. Right? She didn't give a fuck then. Now that she's dead, oh, I get it now. You were in love. Oh, dead love. I think the Vampire Hunter D series should be continued. There's a whole slew of books. There's only 2 movies. They have enough material to make another movie, as long as it looks even close to this. It doesn't need to look like this, but it should, because this thing is amazing, amazing quality. I love the way it looks. Everyone's animated fantastic. Dee's not all cheap. He actually moves around and does shit now, right? He's still pretty handsome, but now he's handsome and lightning quick. They got a wrangle on that sword this time. It's like a constant length. It's really impressive now. Carmilla's walking around with the Bram Stoker hat on. I like that Layla makes a comment about her hair. She's all, nice hat. Thank you. They're serious about it. They're all, dumb peel. He's a dumb peel. Dumb peel hunter. No, he doesn't hunt dumb peels. He hunts vampires. I don't know what this dumb peel is. I'm a dampier, but they spell it wrong in the very beginning. It's all dumb peel. What the shit? The vampires have just been like ditching us and going into space, right, for summer. Oh, later. What a dick. You just let everything go to shit and then you just escape? That's bullshit, vampires. This is why we hunt you down and kill you. Your time is done.